All right, YouTube. So I'm sure you guys are all in tune with what's going on in the world somewhat. So this is a Fox News, 200,000 views 20 hours ago. This is insanity at its best. County sheriff talks about illegals in our country and them coming through the borders with identification, and as soon as they get to the U.S. illegally, uh, or legally, right? They throw them on the ground and they act like they don't have any ID.
Oh, I get it now.
And they wander the United States illegally or legally, uh, with probably getting a new name and I guess, right? Like if they don't have any ID from their country, which they have ID, right? And what they're saying is if you look all around the border, the IDs of all these millions of people or thousands of people are thrown on the ground because they don't want to be known for those people, right? Either they're fake or they're real. Let me see if I can come up with this. It's pretty crazy. This is insanity at its best. So watch this and listen to what this guy has to say. And I'm saying to myself, I'm sorry if I violated your PG-13 there with my blankie falling down. That I can't go anywhere outside the United States without someone asking me for ID. And you ain't getting anywhere without it, right? And I'm a U.S. citizen. They don't give a F. So why is there exceptions for these people? Exceptions. And they're saying the Biden administration said it's okay. They said, how can you expect these asylum seekers or illegal aliens to have ID when they cross through? Well, they had to have some type of ID in their country. So why, when they cross over, are they told to throw your ID on the ground and not use that ID? I would bet you if someone picks up all those IDs, it traces back to somebody, because they're the ID that they have, fake or not. You're identified as somebody with that photo ID, right? But I can't go anywhere. Like if I go from my house to the street, and a cop asks me for ID, I'm going to have to furnish ID because we're an ID state, I believe. And if we weren't an ID state, then I could argue with them. But I can't go anywhere as a U.S. citizen without a felony, without any felonies or any issues on my record, and not show some form of ID. I can't even go to the bank and cash my own payroll check without ID.
That's correct.
Can't do it. Won't do it. Can't go through an airport without some type of ID. But if you're an illegal alien or asylum seeker and you don't have any paperwork, oh, welcome to the United States. Where do you want to go? We don't know who you are. I mean, you could be a terrorist. You could be many different things, but how would we know? The U.S. just says, whatever. They don't have any ID. But to tell your border, how do you expect people to have ID, identification? Well, he said, look on the ground. This is what they're throwing them on the ground. They don't want to be identified. And if they do, they want to get through the system, right? And they'll figure it out. Now, they'll get here and get fake IDs and fake bank accounts and real bank accounts with fake names and, things like that, because there's just so much of that going on here in the United States. But I agree. This is insanity at its best. And I want you guys to listen to this. But if I have to do it, tax-paying U.S. citizen, hardworking, right? Why does somebody from another country absolutely have zero responsibilities to provide ID? Just come on in. We don't care who you are. You are no name, and the gotaways, they call them, right? The gotaways just wandering around aimlessly, and they'll get a new identity fake someplace else. Make any sense to you? They're not U.S. citizens. The people that are here undocumented are not U.S. citizens. They do not believe in what the U.S. has to offer them because they're not doing the system the right way. You're welcome here. You just have to do it the right way. And that's it. No different than me. I have to have ID. I have to have ID to go to the courthouse. I have to get ID to get insurance and registration for my vehicle. I have to have ID to buy a home. I have to have ID to buy a car. I have to have ID for every part of my life. And then the illegals and the asylum seekers are tossing whatever identifications they have down on the ground and just wandering the planet.